Heyo, fantasy people! It's me, Scoob, your loyal and hardworking commissioner, and also going for my third time to win this league. That's right, folks. I won back in 2016 and 2018, though I call it back-to-back victories because we didn't play in 2017. Hurricane Harry. But anyways, we made it, man. We're to the final matchup, and somehow, some way, hook or by crook, I snuck into the finals. Kind of a crazy matchup with Drive Turkeys last week. I'll talk about that in a bit. But I got to talk about the other team who made it to the finals. Tim Spain's Dangerous Knights returns to the finals. The last time he was in the playoffs or in the finals was 2019. And he won it that year. He snuck in with a 6-6 team. I think he was the last seed to get into the playoffs. Runs the tables, wins the league with a team that he auto-drafted from a golf course. Really just a rags to riches story, people. Meanwhile, my team this year, it's been an uphill battle. I have yet to win 2 games in a row. And I've got, because I've been in the playoffs, I've won 2 games. So odds are I'm not going to win this week, just by looking at the past. The other thing about my team is it's been a roller coaster. I don't know if y'all have heard me talk about my issues with Calvin Ridley or not. But I am seriously, I'm losing my brain this week. I don't know what to do with Calvin Ridley. He's currently out of my lineup. I might move him back into my lineup. He's projected for 14 points, but it's Calvin Ridley, right? He went off. He did like 25, 26 points last week. It was like the 8th highest scoring wide receiver in fantasy football. And yet, I'm scared to play him because he every time he goes off like that, the following couple of weeks, he puts up like 6 points, 4 points, 2 points, like whatever. Like not like the kind of points I need to win this thing. So that's been really difficult. I genuinely don't know what I'm going to do with Calvin Ridley. But I'll rant about that. You're going to hear about it. Currently, I came in as the number 5 seed into the playoffs with an 8-6 regular season record, but I am currently a 54% favorite in this matchup against Dangerous Knights, the number 2 seed who came in with a 10-4 record. This is mainly due to the fact that he lost TJ Hawkinson last week. Huge hit there for him. That was probably the toughest thing for him coming out of last week. He had a very easy win over Slummy the Buckless Troll, mainly because Slummy's team just didn't show up last week. So it was, he broke, Slummy didn't even break 60 points. So Tim more than doubled his score last week. But the big thing is Brock Purdy had his worst game of the year, put up like 2.4 points. Still almost doubled what Sam Howell did for Slummy last week. I think more than doubled it, because I think Sam Howell might have been negative. And then he also, like I said, he lost TJ Hawkinson, his stud tight end. Still a great team. My team, I defeated Jive Turkeys, coming in the number 1 seed, 12-2. Genuinely did not think I had a chance, even though, like, at the beginning the projections were in my favor. Did not think I had a chance. Puka Nacua goes out, puts up 33, on Thursday. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get blown out. But my team just hung around, and eventually rallied past, and took the lead. We were pretty tight on wide receivers. He had the 2nd and 3rd best wide receivers. Dunk is making some weird noises over here. With Puka and Amon-Ra St. Brown, the sun god. And I had Ridley, who was the 8th best, and then, of course, CeeDee Lamb. So, we were pretty tight on wide receiver, but it definitely the favorite went to Bubba. But his running backs just they didn't show up, and mine did. And that was really the big change there, or the big break for me. I had a pretty good game out of Jalen Hurts, but yeah, Ridley coming to life is what really won me that game, and that and my running backs. So I'm lucky to be here. I know that I'm lucky to be here. The fact that I'm a favorite in this matchup is insane to me, and I don't believe it. Because I know how good Tim's team is. He's got he's got Gibbs and Montgomery, both Lions running backs, going against Dallas, which we saw it from James Cook and the Buffalo Bills. You can run on Dallas. So they're probably going to try to run on Dallas. He's got some great wide receivers. He's got Devonta Smith, who came to life a little bit last week. He's got Olave, I think. He's got the Buffalo defense going against New England. Brock Purdy gonna have a get-right game probably against Washington. So he's got some good matchups. He's got some good players. Meanwhile, I'm over here playing, the Ridley shuffle. I move him into the flex. I move him into wide receiver. I move him back to the bench. I genuinely don't know what to do with Calvin Ridley. In fact, at halftime of his game, I was texting Bubba, in my Burgess Meredith voice, Ridley, you're a bum. That was a terrible Burgess Meredith. Nonetheless, you're a bum, Ridley. There it is. Anyways, and then all of a sudden he goes off in the second half. But, so I don't know. But my dog is driving me nuts here. So, anyways, I'm worried about this matchup. Again, I have not won 3 games in a row. I did defeat Dangerous Knights in week 8. By about the same score that we're projected for. I think it was, I wrote it down somewhere, 129 to 113. But let's keep in mind, week 8 was the week that CeeDee Lamb went off for 41 points. So, and Calvin Ridley put up like 14. My kicker got me like 16. I got lucky that time too. In other words, I'm saying that again, I'm happy to be here. I hope I don't embarrass myself. That's what I want to say about my team this week. So that I've rambled on for 8 minutes about this. That is enough about my matchup and about the championship. We've got other matchups that matter. Well, one other one that has money on the line. That's the number 3 matchup. We've got Slummy, the Buckless Troll, going against Bubba's Jive Turkeys. Bubba's Jive Turkeys is currently a 51% favorite to win this. Remember, third place gets their money back. If you haven't paid your dues, expect to hear from me. Not just because if I win, I want your money, but more importantly, when Tim beats me, I don't want to have to pay him out of my own pocket other than the $50 that I owe the league. So that's why I'll be coming for the monies. All right. So Slummy going against JT, going against Jive Turkeys. Both these teams just hoping their guys show up after last week. Memphis Mains will be taking on Tiggle Bitties, battling out for 5th place. Memphis Mains currently the favorite there. Texas Chainsaw, currently a 53% favorite for 7th place over Georgia Peaches. Trash Pandas, and Peyton's 5-head are pretty much a pick 'em. I think it's a slight advantage, like a 1/10 of a point advantage to Peyton's 5-head. But they're playing it out for 9th place. And then playing it out for 11th and or not to be last, we have my lovely wife, Crawdad, taking on Too Good For You. She is currently a 51% favorite, but, that would, I'm just saying, dear, might want to check that lineup. Hell, Hey, so that was the lineups. I wish you all the best. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. I hope you all have a wonderful, safe, happy new year. I hope you all have a wonderful fantasy week this week. Except for you, Tim. You I'm coming for. Let me see your war face. Ah!